Ahead.
I'm Pat Smith, and I'm interviewing Roman Sr. for the Greensburg Daily news story that comes out in to honor farmers. It's called Thank a Farmer. And although Roman doesn't farm anymore, I'd like to know what farming used to be like, because we have to thank them too.
I hear, but it don't go up here.
Okay. Tell me, I'd like to know, first of all, what did you do with the third floor of that barn? I've seen two-story barns.
It was three. The stables was down, three long stables,
Uh-huh.
and there was a water tank that had running water in it ever since it was built. Out of a spring coming out of the hill out there, and we get our drinking water out of another spring.
So it had two springs.
Yeah, so that's why they built back here.
And that is why the Indians settled here probably too,
Yeah.
because plenty of water.
Well, they're buried back there on that hill, I guess. But I ought to get somebody to look in there. Did I ever plow that, Roman? Do you remember?
Yeah.
We found some stuff back there. Then I wonder where all of that went to.
Well, some guy come around and bought it all from you.
I don't know.
Well, I can see why it would be a popular land for the Indians if it had two streams on it, because some farms don't have any. So, can you hear me pretty well? Can you hear me pretty well?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that I want to. I can go to the library and get a copy of that. Now let me see here. I've got questions for you. 1915 Harding's History. This book right here says that this farm was a model farm. Why was it such a model farm?
Modern.
Model farm. You know, a farm that was one that people would envy. I'm not sure how I can say that, but I guess what.
Probably the running water was a big
I don't
part
know
of
what
that.
kind of Indians was here. They was the Indians that worked. Some Indians never worked.
Yeah, yeah.
But who was that tribe down there? Brad knows all that stuff. He was going to come. Brad
Well,
was.
the Indians had cleared most of the land before
Okay, cleared land.
Dominic got here.
Yeah, and then they
1850s when my great grandpa bought this place.
there was a lot of brick and stuff made out of that creek.
They
down
built
there.
this
They
house
built
in
all the creeks
1870.
for brick.
Okay, and is it still 246 acres?
No,
It's been divided up.
yeah, Urban got the biggest part of it back there. My brother.
So,
I ended up about 100 acres there.
well, that's nice. When you started when did you start farming?
When I was a little kid.
Okay, okay, I can
My dad
understand.
died when I was 5 years old.
Oh, really?
And my oldest brother, he was only 7. My little sister was just a year old when my dad died.
How many children were there?
Four.
My great grandpa had 4 boys. And I think there was a couple girls out there. 3 of the boys went to Cincinnati and one of them stayed here. That was my grandpa.
Uh-huh.
He stayed here. We lived with him till he died in 1943.
There was
So your dad died. Your dad died young.
41.
Okay. What?
He was a World War I veteran.
Oh, okay. Now, so what did you do? Did you plow with a horse?
Well, years ago, yeah, I was a little kid.
That's when you started farming. You
Yeah.
plowed with a horse.
Yeah.
When did you get a tractor?
Oh, about 19. was probably,
40?
I was probably 12 years old. 10 years old, 1939 or 40.
Oh, I bet you thought that was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of tractor was it?
A Fordson, Fordson.
A Fordson tractor. Is that a real thing? I mean,
Oh,
what-
yeah.
Fordson.
I
Oh.
got a picture of it at home
Really?
with all them guys around it. Yeah.
Did you send that to me?
I don't know if that's one we sent or not. Do you have the pictures with you?
I have some of them with me.
Urban's standing next to it with his horse.
No, I don't think I have that one.
I remember that.
Oh, I thought I
I
sent
remember
that.
that picture.
Because I remember.
It's in a little frame. You can use it.
These are the ones that I thought would come out pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you what. When we go home, we'll get that picture that I've got
Okay.
because he says it's there at the house.
Yeah. These are the ones that I have. I made copies of them so I could. Now I think there are a couple more that you sent, but I didn't think they show up well in the paper.
Okay.
Some of them you got on the internet didn't look very good. Let me see it.
Well, these didn't do too bad.
So, a Fordson tractor. Now, was that made by the Ford company?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a new tractor?
No.
Old. Okay.
It comes from Uncle Ollie, my mom's brother.
Okay. Uncle Ollie.
Ow.
That's
Aloysius.
Paul Thole. You heard of Paul Thole? Thole.
No. Don't
Bob,
think so.
Bob Honert and Donnie Mormon up there by St. Mars married Paul's sister.
Okay. Well, you've got a lot of family right around in here close, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that works out well. And have you made any, well, you have made improvements on this house over the years. Let's see, it was 100 years old in 1976, in 1970.
1870 it was built, the house was.
Yeah, so it'd be 100 years old, 1970. So do you still use the kitchen out, what kind of kitchen?
Summer kitchen.
Summer kitchen. Do you still use it? For anything, I mean.
Just put junk in there. It's all cleaned up now. The kids was going to have a get together back in there, but they cleaned the old summer kitchen. You ought to go and look at that. That looks pretty neat.
Doesn't? Well, we can show her when we get
That
ready.
was built before the house was.
And they made it out of stone, I suppose, so it wouldn't burn down. Made it out of stone.
It was all got together off of this place.
Okay, stone on.
And that barn had a lot of stone in it too. The
Really?
Foundation, yeah.
That's a shame. It burned. I mean, the wind blew it down. Was it a tornado or bad
It
wind?
didn't blow down, it just blew apart. See, that old barn was pretty airtight. I guess it filled up with wind and then it just blew apart. One hay mow was over there and one was over there, wasn't it?
But you can see in
Yeah.
that picture it's in pieces.
It was scattered.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
And it didn't hurt the house, it blew one chimney off the house. That's how much wind blowed.
Did you build the chimney back?
No, it's gone. It's both. I put a new roof on there this year. That was the original roof on there.
Really? But you put a new one on this year.
Yeah, that old tin was all made in Millhouse. The Scheidlers had a machine shop. They cut all that pieces of tin out and put grooves, floors like on it. That's what was on this roof.
Really?
Yeah.
So that came.
And that old boy put a new valley up there on the roof years ago, and there was a pars in there laying in there. It had Louis Scheidler's name engraved, and had done that. Didn't have no electric, you know. That old pars was just like new, and I gave it to some of Louis Scheidler's relation there in Cincinnati.
Yeah. I knew Al Scheidler.
That was my wife's dad.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Boy,
right.
dad, yeah.
Yeah, I knew Marjorie, and I know Barbara. And I know Katie. Well, I know them.
Seen
Yeah.
Barb for a long time.
She had celebrated her 90th birthday this month.
Is that this month?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
90th birthday this month. And she still gets out and gets on her hands and knees and gardens. Pretty good. Let's see. So you began farming when you were just a kid. What did you raise? What did you raise when you were a kid working on the farm?
All around 200 pounds all the time.
Huh?
No, he's
He told
Roman.
me way.
Roman.
What-
She wants to know what crops you
Yeah.
raised on the farm.
What crops?
What'd you plant? What'd you plant on the farm?
Well, when we first farmed, we just had alfalfa hay. Then when we got that tractor, we started plowing a little bit, but we raised corn, wheat, of course.
And what'd you do? Did you have pigs? Did you have any pigs? Did you have animals on the farm too, like horses and cows? Did you have cows? Did you milk?
My grandpa had about 150 head of yoke sheep.
Really?
My grandpa.
And
And we had 3 or 4 milk cows. That's what my mom raised us kids on. And about 400 chickens, laying chickens. She sold eggs.
He used to have peacocks down here too.
Yeah, we had peacocks for
Did
a
you?
little while.
Marge would go out and yell for the kids, and the peacocks would answer her.
Oh.
Yeah, old Bob Dean brought them down here. He built a swimming pool and they was balling these swimming pools. He brought about 6 of them down
Oh,
there. Peacocks.
yeah. So now your grandfather, what was his name again?
They all called him Mart, M-A-R-T, Martin, but the paper said it's Matthias in there, but my dad's name was Matthias.
Okay, so this is your grandfather, and but you all raised when you were a kid. You raised. Did you say cows? They had cows on here, or just milk cows?
Yeah, about 4 milk cows.
And then did you have any beef cows?
No, not when we was kids, no.
Did you later on?
Yeah, I used to have a bunch of cows, Hereford cattle.
That's when we was kids.
What we have were only about 100 head or 50 head, didn't it? No, not that many.
Too many.
25. I got a camera, some kind of picture of it. It was all out there in the field.
And 400 chickens. That's a lot of chickens.
But it is a lot of chickens.
Well, where'd you keep them? Did you have a
Down
big?
that old chicken house.
Okay.
That was 2-story chicken house. It's still standing down there.
Did some of them sleep on the second floor?
The chickens did, yeah.
I love it. And you fed them the corn that you raised, some of the corn. You fed them corn that you had raised.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have pigs, hogs?
Later on, yeah.
Uh-huh. But you didn't go into farming big time like a Stewart's. Like the Stewart's, you know, with all their 1,000 acres of corn.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
Had what?
How many acres of corn would you have a year?
Well, I rented quite a bit of
Later,
ground for a few
yeah.
years, yeah, but I probably had, what'd you say, 20 acres there at home, probably.
You mean here?
Just on this place, yeah.
I don't know. What was Bob Jack's 80 acres and Millhausen was 150? Bob Jack's was about 80 acres, wasn't it?
I farmed Bob Jackson, I called Uncle George and Aunt Helen, that big brick house in Millhausen.
Uh-huh.
That belonged to my aunt and uncle. I farmed that for several years.
Oh, did you?
Well,
Okay.
you was close to 300 acres, wasn't you? Back.
Feltman's was 165 and Bob Jack's had about 80 acres.
And then you had
Farm
about
ground.
60 here, probably, didn't you?
Uh,
You had about 60 here, didn't you?
Yeah.
That bottom and that hill up there.
yeah. Well, what wasn't in corn was in wheat, and then
Yeah.
part of it was in hay, alfalfa.
Alpha.
Yeah, he was just telling me the other day he traded his little Jubilee for a 40 John Deere.
So what'd you do with the
Sick.
wheat?
He made a half a
Did you
round,
sell
but
it?
He was sick.
Yeah, they thrashed it. We had a thrash machine come down years ago before we had combine. I had one of the first combines around the country years ago. I done a lot of combine for people too. That was before I went bulldozing.
So you had a combine. What kind of combine was it?
Well, the worst one I ever bought was a John Deere. I had it for about 2 years, but the rest was all Alice Chalmers pull type combine. Oh, now or later on I had a self-propel, but
What was your first combine you had?
it was old Alice Chalmers.
Okay.
All right. And then back in those days, a combine probably would cost maybe a couple of $1,000. Whereas now, it's my understanding that farmers sometimes have machines, equipment that runs maybe $5,000-$10,000.
Oh shoot, they run 100,000 now, but that first old combine I bought was around 1,500. Now, Model 60 Alice Chalmers.
Model 60.
You remember that, don't you? Well, you was riding on a combine with me up there one time. That was
Remember that,
John Deere.
Roman?
That was a John Deere on me.
I don't remember you having a John Deere combine.
I only had it 2 years, but it was nothing compared to that Alice Chalmers.
Alice Chalmers was a nice one. Didn't you have one with a canvas? The 60 didn't have a canvas, did it?
You know,
Now, this right here is a picture of a whole bunch of tractors and this equipment, piece of equipment. I don't know what it is. What is that? It's tractors and some other kind of farm equipment. I don't know.
Why don't you look at it and see if you can, because I don't know if you can.
Is that where the barn blew
I
down?
don't need. I
No.
get my glasses.
It's
Get my
just-
glasses.
He'll
Roman.
take a look at
This
it.
one right here.
Those were the tractors that were in the barn when the barn blew down.
Ah,
And most of them were smashed.
okay.
What was that other? She said there's another piece of equipment.
Yeah, I had about 10 restored tractors in that barn when it went down.
There was about 10 of them in there, but this is 4 of them that look pretty good yet. The other 5 or 6 were mashed and broke in half.
Yeah, that International, they lifted it out of the barn, junk in the barn. It came out in 2 pieces, broke that tractor right in half.
Can you see what that? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess it is a tractor. He said there were 4 tractors, so that's a tractor too. Okay, I got it. And who is this? Is that you?
I'll have to get my glasses.
Paul, you want to look for him?
Roll me there out there by the computer.
Okay.
Where'd you get them off the Facebook?
No. Jean gave them to me.
Gene Hooten sent them to me,
Oh, I see.
and then I sent them to Pat.
It looks to me like an old John Deere. I had a lot of John Deere.
That's
tractors.
your old 40. That's your old 40 John Deere, looks like.
Yeah, that might be. That was the worst tractor I ever bought. 1955, I
We were
bought
just
that brand
talking
new
about that
tractor,
the other
and it
day.
was just nothing compared to that Ford I had.
Was it new when you bought it?
Huh?
Was it new when you bought it?
Yeah. I bought a lot of new tractors in my days and pickup trucks.
Well, now you said you had a combine. And that's big, isn't it? A big piece of equipment.
Yeah.
When did you buy that? Do you remember?
Well, way before I went in the Army, I bought one from Ed Feltman. Used one. I might have just been out of high school, 1949, 48.
Well, may I ask how much you paid for it?
It was used, and I think about $800.
I was looking up on the internet, and I think they cost a lot more than that now.
You can't buy those tires for that now.
No.
Things sure went to pot.
Tell me the other day he farmed in 300 acres with an A John Deere and his Jubilee.
This is you on here, ain't it, Roman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is him.
Which one is he?
That's my summer kitchen. That's the house, and that's where the carport is. I parked the tractor out there on the hill. That's Romy.
Oh.
Oh shoot, ain't that something?
And that's the summer.
Ain't the day you rode down the hill on the tractor, was it?
No, I had running water in that barn all the time. There was
I don't
three
remember
long
doing
stables
that.
went clear across. You could drive a tractor clear through the barn. What was that barn about? Wasn't 100 feet long, was it? Pretty close, I guess. 60 feet wide.
Oh yeah.
Well, who's this sitting on the tractor with you here?
Oh, he got my glasses there.
I didn't see nobody on there.
Damn, I don't know. That might be Romy too.
Probably is.
Little squirt sitting on my lap.
I didn't even notice anybody sitting there.
See, is that his head there, ain't it?
Oh yeah, that's me. Has to be.
Okay.
You didn't have that John Deere but about 2 years.
Oh, that's a John Deere, is it?
That's the one he didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst little tractor I ever bought.
I'm surprised he had it that long.
Maybe. I don't even remember. I remember him upsetting it out there on the hill.
I remember when I was a kid, he had a 40 down there, and he was like, "You boys don't use that damn tractor, you'll upset. That damn thing will upset."
Roman, how old are you?
63.
Okay, so this would be about probably
Probably about
59 or 60 years ago.
I couldn't have been over 2 or 3 years old there.
The
Could I?
year was you born?
55.
5. So been about, yeah, he said about 57, didn't he?
When did you buy that tractor in 57?
55, I think.
55.
Okay.
I don't know when I got rid of it, but I don't know, I only run it a couple of years. It was nothing compared to that Ford. I traded that Ford in on it. I bought that Ford due in 1953.
Yeah.
2 years I traded it off for that little John Deere. I had a bigger tractor all the time I used, but
Who is this? And then,
Okay, that's Bradley. Is this Abby's husband? That's Bradley.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. That almost looks like Dad.
That's Dad. This-
no, the
this
reason
is
they built
Bradley,
that
who's
barn
this?
there
This
is
is
only
Bradley.
had that
That's
spring
what I
come out of the hill over there.
that's wonderful. I
It
mean,
was
it,
piped in the barn. I had a water tank in there. The cattle, I didn't have to let them out. It was cold. They had a big water tank running full of water all the time. And I
Pat,
took that.
this is Brad Johannigman, his grandson. And the one up, or this one is, this is Roman. This is Nick Asher, and Nick's married to his granddaughter.
okay.
is Asher, A-S-C-H. I'm not sure.
I'll try to find out.
Okay.
I took that spring water where we used in the house, and I took it, had it tested a couple times. It's better water than Versailles and Greensburg got.
Really?
Both places said, "Where'd you find that water?" I said, "That come out of my spring." I guess they checked it for chemicals, you know.
Uh-huh. Well, now, I mean, there were 2 springs here when you came. When you, I mean, you can remember 2 springs, and one of them you had taken into the barn.
It was piped into the
Piped
barn,
in,
run
uh-huh.
into the tank all the time, and overflowed.
There's also a
Went
creek.
back out in the creek.
Yeah, the creek runs through the property too.
And this here spring water runs down there in that water tank, then it goes out.
Well, now, you said a creek. What's the difference between a spring and a creek?
Spring comes out of the ground, and a creek is on the ground. Like a little river, a small river, something like that. A spring wells up from below ground.
Okay.
Springs
the
are,
creek is fed from the fields and rainwater and stuff.
and the springs are usually a more pure water because it's filtered down through the ground.
Fantastic. I mean, really, I'm learning quite a bit. I'm just learning it a little late, is the only thing. All right. Now, this is just a general statement, but how is farming different now than it was when you were growing up? Or when you were farming?
Well, they just got too big, that's all.
I suppose farmers had to get big in order to make enough money. I mean, I'm assuming that they had to get big in order to make enough money.
Oh, yeah.
To keep up with the times, I
Well,
guess. Yeah.
and also just think of the cost of the equipment, as you pointed out earlier today. Because
Yeah, instead of having a 2-row corn planter like I had years ago, went to 4-row, and people laughed at me. They said, "What are you going to do with that big corn planter?"
Yeah.
Remember that, Rome?
Yeah, Rieger's got 40 rows,
Yeah, I know.
and it costs him $10,000 to fill all the boxes with seed.
I imagine.
It does.
That old corn planter's about 35 foot wide.
You got audio on that.
I imagine one of them costs $100,000, don't they? Rome?
I don't know, Dad.
I'll bet they do.
I have heard somebody say that they had a piece of equipment. In fact, I'm going to also interview the Pumphreys.
They what?
Pumphreys, have you heard of, Pumphreys. They have a big farm, I think.
Oh yeah.
Humphrey.
Yes.
They're hog farmers, ain't they?
Hog farmers, are they? Well, I asked if I could interview them, and they agreed, so we'll see what they had to say. I guess they wouldn't need combines then for a hog farmer, would they?
Oh, I don't know.
They still they
Razor.
still raise crops too.
Yeah, they still
Yeah,
have crops.
but they're big in hogs. But
Really?
they still do crops.
You got to
too.
have so many acres of ground to be able to raise so many hogs to get
Yeah.
rid of the manure.
Oh, gosh.
So the more pigs you have, the more ground you have to get rid of the manure.
Who else raises hogs around here? Do the Metzes raise hogs?
Corrays do.
Corrays. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
No, Barb will be 90 years old. Did you see her birthday this month?
June the 7th, she was 90.
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh.
I'll be 90 in March.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, she still gets down and digs in the dirt and plants